It's Lori, and welcome back to Editing with Lightroom Classic. This video is number 2 in a series focused on the mask tools. Now, the mask tools in Lightroom were updated in October of 2022, so be sure you've run your updates so that you can use these awesome new features that I'm going to review with you. So in the first video of my series, we cover the navigation of the tools, and you're going to get to see me use some of that in practice right now. I do encourage you, if you're new to masking or new to Lightroom Classic, to watch that first video. All right, so for this video, my idea on this image, I want to work with the subject, the flowers and the vase, and the background. So let's get started over here on the right with our mask tool, right here at this round target. When we click on that, it brings up the Add New Mask menu. Now, this is the menu you get the first time you add a mask, and you have the options here to select. So for this image, I'm going to use the subject and I'm going to use the background. These are the new options that are available right here on top. These are AI-based technology where they are going to identify the subject for you and create your mask, which is beautiful. Now, what we want to do is I want to work on brightening the flowers and maybe adding a little texture or contrast. And to do that, I can grab this subject and it's going to know or look for the subject in my image. Now, when we use a mask, remember that that is the area that we can make adjustments to. So first, working with the flowers, I'm going to click on subject. And Lightroom instantly comes in and does this great mask for us. Now remember from video 1, we have got our mask 1 created. We did a subject is the tool that we chose to use. And we've got this right here that's going to let us know where Lightroom has pulled that. Now I can see a little bit of the mask kind of falling off and over here in the corners and up here. So it wasn't exactly perfect, but that's an opportunity for us to tweak our mask. So what I'm going to do is use the subtract option to take away so I can clean up this area. So I want to click on subtract, and to do that, I'm going to use the brush. That's going to be the easiest way. Now I could also try color range, but let's start with the brush and see how that does. All right, so now you have your brush menu, and it is important to take note of that when you are cleaning up a mask. So for this, I want the flow to be really light, probably medium. I don't want it to be too heavy. And I'm going to keep the feather about 50% as well. Now I do have it on auto mask, so that will really help as we are coming in and cleaning up. So I'm going to make the brush just a little bit smaller. And what's great, if you have your feather and your flow lower, you can go over it multiple times, and it's going to give you a lot softer cleanup around these edges. Now, if you want to make your flow a little higher, you can, of course, do that. Remember, flow on your brush is like paint. So I'm going to increase the flow and density just a little bit. Come in, I'm just cleaning up these edges, and we can see that it's doing a nice job. I don't need it to be spotless on this. I am going to come around the vase here, those edges. And then let's go down, make our mask back smaller. You can use your bracket key also to impact the brush. And I'm just going to go around lightly there. Now this area right here, I'm going to start, up here at the top. I'm just going to take some of that off. And let's get our flow a little bit higher, make this brush a little smaller. And I'll zoom in some more. Now I can see where some of this is actually, the flower. So if you make a mistake and you're using too large of a brush, then you can come in and just grab the eraser tool. So you can erase what you just brushed off. So I'm going to come in and bring back this part of the flower. And I'm going to make sure that I've got all of this one selected. Now this is where I am going to keep my feather really high. And I want to just get all of this put back into place. Come in right here. And then again, I can go back to my brush. I'm going to take the feather up and I can just continue to tweak this. So I can see a little bit of red right there. And this is where you'd want to just continue to zoom in and get really, really neat if this needs to be that exact. We can even make the brush really tiny and just come in on those lines. All right, so now we can see we have our mask one. We have the subject that we originally selected, which was everything. And now we have our brush, which we can see right here where we've made those changes. Now, I can also now click on just that brush and I can see, I can click on it right there, that I have some mistakes. So I can grab my eraser again. I'm on the brush, grab the erase, and I'm going to come over here. Let's click on that and I'm going to clean that up. So now, there we go. I've got that all nice and neat. I'm also going to do a little bit more right there. Click on it again, and you can see what you've done and where your masks are. So that is a helpful option as well, just to make sure you've got everything the way you want it. So now I'm going to remove my overlay, and I'm going to make my adjustments to this image. So first, I'm going to brighten the exposure a little bit, add a little bit of texture, and clarity. I'm actually going to soften these dahlias, add a little texture, soften. And I think I will come in and saturate the colors just a little bit. So now I can turn this mask on and off and let you see the difference in the image. So making those specific adjustments. Now what I notice in this is that it's brightening my container, which is really not the main subject of this image. So I can go back now. I can stay right here in my mask tools and I can grab subtract and I can remove some of this mask. So let's click on subtract, and this time I want to use the objects tool. So we're going to grab this one, which is new, and you've got a brush option and a marquee kind of square tool. I like to use that one. So I'm just going to come over, pop that there, and the AI technology, let's mark our overlay, is going to select it. And it has done an excellent job removing that from my mask. Now, what I can do, now that it is not there, it's not impacted at all on my mask. So let's take off the overlay. I'm going to really brighten this image. You can see that the jar below is not changing. So that is one way. Once you've done something and you want to go back and change it, you can do that with adding that additional mask. All right, so the next thing I wanted to do to this image was darken the background just a little bit. So there's a couple ways we could do that. We can go to create new mask and we can select background. We can also go to our three dots, and from here we could duplicate and invert the mask. So let's try that first. So we're going to duplicate and invert, and we can see now that it has selected all the background, including though our vase and including the books. So you'd have to decide what you were wanting to do. If you don't want to impact the vase, so this is our now inverted, we can remove these. So I can take this object and I can delete it. And that brings that back. And then if I wanted the books, I could, but I think I'm comfortable working with just this background. So now we have our mask one inverted and we have our brush one that we did originally. And that's for that area where we corrected that. So now I can come in, I'm going to take the overlay off, and I'm going to bring down the exposure and just darken that background. It's very subtle, just giving it a little bit more of a moody look. So I'll show you before and after. It's also darkening those books a little bit. So it's all personal preference. All right, so I am going to delete this mask that we just did. So now we're going to go back. We only have our first one. And I want to show you if I create a new mask and do select background, there it goes. So in that example, it is doing everything except the vase and the flowers, which is also what we wanted. So you had a couple ways you could tackle this image, and that's the beauty of these masks. You can get comfortable over time with how you like to use them. So for this, I'm going to come down and darken the background again, and that's another option that you could do. Now, if I wanted to darken some of this container as well, all I'd have to do is to click Add, grab the brush this time. I'm going to keep the flow and density about 50%, the feather high, enlarge the brush, and I can just come in and you can see now how I can provide just a little warmth and darkening to this vase. And remember that I can come over and make additional adjustments. So I'm on the brush. I could also take down the highlights to just bring those down. Maybe not that much, maybe just a little, but bring the exposure down just a little bit, and those highlights. So that would be an option if you wanted to. Again, however much you want to do is up to you, but you've got that option to continue to tweak with your mask. Now we can see when we hover over that, I spilled over a little bit. So you want to click on that. We can grab our erase on our brush. We can just come over and clean that up. And then just hover over it again, and you can see there where those changes were. Okay, so that is using under the mask tools. I am going to go ahead and close. And again, what we've reviewed here is the select subject and select a background. So let's go look at one other image where we can play with selecting our subject or the background. So I've got these apples, and this image, these were a little soft, but a little soft looking. They were crunchy apples, but I wanted to use it as a great example of how these mask tools work. So again, if I want to work on just the apples, I can come in and click subject. And Photoshop did a pretty good job. Now you can see this one is a little bit lighter. And if I really want to make adjustments to that, I could go back over. So I could do add, and let's try object again. And let's just make sure that it's really got that popped on there. There we go. So now we've got a full opacity mask. Before, the mask was only at about maybe 50%. So at this point, the mask looks really good to me. I'm comfortable with it. So I'm going to come over and reduce the highlights a little bit, add some saturation, maybe add a little texture, and maybe darken, keep a little brightness, but open up the shadows, maybe add a little clarity, and dehaze on these apples. There we go, just to bring out all that beautiful texture. So remember how our panel works. We have our mask one, and we could rename this if we wanted, double click on it, and we could call it apples. And below that, we know we did a subject selection, and then we did an object selection so that we could get both apples in there. All right, so the next thing that I want to do with this image is work on this background. I want to give it a little moodier fall look. So I'm going to create new mask, and now we're going to select the background. Now I don't want to choose select sky. I'll show you what happens if we do that. There's only a little bit of sky visible. So I'm going to delete that mask because we do not need it. And we're going to do some sky ones in a minute. So what I want to do now is go to select background. And you can see it did okay, but it still left this other apple in there. So I'm going to click subtract, objects. Let's just drag over that apple. And it's going to get rid of that. And the leaves are fine. I don't mind that it selected those. So I think we're okay now. I'm going to remove the overlay, and I'm going to darken this background just to give it a little bit more fall look. I'm going to reduce the clarity to soften the image around the apples. And I could even play with the temperature a little bit. So decide if I want it a little darker, a little warmer. I'm going to add just a little bit of warmth. right, so I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. So that was where we can call this our background and click OK. Now I think I deleted by mistake the apple, so let's just do that one again really fast. Select subject. It selected almost all of it. So let's name this one apples. And now what I'm going to do is add, do objects again, click over the apple. Now it's all bright red. We do have a little red back in here. So I can also do subtract, grab the brush. I'm going to take my flow and density up, and I'm just going to remove that mask on the leaves and in this area. So I really just want it on those apples. All right, now I'm going to remove the overlay so we can see what we're working with. So I added some texture, a little clarity here, a little dehaze, and I darkened the apples a little bit. And I also could play with the hue slider. So let's make those a little bit redder and riper, and maybe add a little saturation. So now, if I show you the apple mask before and after. So that's how I made those selective adjustments. Now, I want to show you one more fun tool that you can use when you have an image like this. So we have light coming from the sky here down onto this apple. So what I want to do is I'm going to create a new mask, and I'm going to use the brush. Now we haven't gotten to the brush tool in our videos, but I'm going to go ahead and show you with this image a fun technique. So we've used the brush a lot to tweak our mask, but you can also use it as a way to apply a mask. So I'm going to grab the brush, and the first thing I'm going to do is start right here in this corner. Then I'm going to hold the Shift key, and I'm going to make the brush larger. Let's see, I actually just inverted that, and I don't want to do that. So let's turn that off. I'm not sure how that happened. So let's do this one again together. Okay, so I'm going to create new mask. We're going to add the brush. I'm going to just brush in this corner. I'm going to make the brush larger, hold the Shift key, and add right there. Now, if you hold the Shift key, it's going to do a line for you all the way up, which is giving us light. We can continue to brush all the way through. So using the Shift key will give you that diagonal or straight up and down. It will connect your dots, which is really fun. It makes it easy when you're doing your edit. So this one I'm going to call light because I'm adding some light here. So what I'm going to do is bump the exposure just a little bit and add some warmth just for where that is shining on that pretty apple. Now, if I didn't want it all over the apple, again, what do we have to do? Just click subtract. This time I'm going to use the brush, and I'm going to keep my flow and density at about 50%. I don't want to take it all off, but I want to bring some of the darkness back. And if we want to show overlay, that will help us remove. I'm just going to remove a little bit of that light, not all of it, but just a tiny bit. Okay, so now we can see before, and let's get rid of our overlay. Before, without, and now we've got that light shining right there on our apples. So hopefully as you're seeing me do these edits and you begin to work with these yourself, you are going to love using the select subject or select background to work within your images. So in the next video, we are going to work on the remaining options here in the second box, the brush, the linear, the radial, and we'll continue to play with objects, which is my new favorite mask. Thanks, everybody.